Now we move on to the Minoans. In the 3rd millennium BCE, so 3000 to 2000 BCE, their settlements are small and simple, but they're quickly going to start doing what they're quite famous for, which is the construction of large palaces. The early Minoan period was developing as the Cycladic period was flourishing, so we see a lot of influence from the Cycladic on the Minoan. And of course, there's a lot of trade at the time. In terms of architecture, their first or Old Palace period will come to an abrupt end in about 1700, when a fire destroys these grand structures, likely following an earthquake. These are rebuilt, and this is seen as the golden age of Minoan culture from 1700 to 1200 BCE. And there are palace sites at several locations with similar features and concepts. Generally, they have well-conceived plans. We see massive structures with residential suites, courtyards. We see storerooms, offices, and shrines. And most of these palaces will be able to serve as the administrative, commercial, and religious center of Minoan life. And for the most part, they're building with wood, stone, and plaster. And when we look at Minoan pieces, for example, their paintings, if you've ever seen the Disney movie Hercules, if the figure looks like it walked out of Hercules, it's probably Minoan. And that's probably an oversimplification, but you get the point. Now, these palaces are what the Minoans are famous for. In fact, this is where we get the idea of, I believe it's Perseus and the Minotaur, where you have this labyrinth, which is actually a Minoan palace that no one can find their way out of, because these palaces, as we're going to see, are going to be legendary for their size and for their complexity.